Welcome to Pro-Am Boxing, the UK's best and biggest, brightest boxing shop. Welcome to the shop again. This week we're going to talk about the shop in general. This is our fourth premises. We started off with a industrial unit and a Huyton industrial estate. We then moved into 32 St Helens Road, where we were for 20 years, which was a super successful shop all the way back in 1995. More recently, the last 5 or 6 years, we've been here in St Helens in the town centre in our lovely modern clean shop. Nothing else like it. The only other shop I ever remember before we opened up was the original Lonsdale shop in Beak Street in London, which was always a pleasure to go, but it was only a quarter of the size of this shop, funnily enough, but a beautiful shop nevertheless. And it was always a pleasure to meet Bernard and Denny, who were lovely people who owned the business. Now, I've owned this business since, like I say, I started it in 1995. At the time, I was I'd retired from boxing myself. I was back at my old amateur club, St Helens Town ABC, as it was called then, with my old coach, Mr John Chisnall. He was mentoring me to be an amateur coach, and he taught me extremely well, all about to a level 3 ABA coach. I was never interested in judging, refereeing or anything else, but we were very successful. Yet I noticed there was a gap in the market. No shops up here were selling any boxing gear whatsoever, so I decided to use my knowledge in boxing to develop our own brand. That's how Pro-Am was born. It's grown since then, after a while, from me being quite successful with one of the top clubs in the country, producing schools, junior, senior ABA champions, England internationals. I started to learn the pro side of the game with another great coach called Colin Moorcroft. He was part of the Highland Munro camp. He got me in, teaching me the difference between the professional game and the amateur game on the trainer's side. And I got my professional licence as a Boxing Board of Control trainer 25 years ago now, maybe 26. We had a good successful little club there in Litherland. We had good boxers that Colin trained with: Gary Lockett, Gary Thornhill, Johnny Armour, Peter Culshaw, all world-class boxers. So I learned from a very good trainer with very good boxers. While I was learning to be a trainer, I was learning more and more about the pro side of equipment. As in the club before, all the amateur boxers used our amateur equipment. So now I was getting insight on how professional equipment was different and used. So I started producing professional equipment, and the boxers there used our gloves and equipment all the time. So this made the brand grow, as well as my knowledge in the sport. Shortly after that, I was asked to train boxers on my own, which I did, and was quite good at that as well, quite successful with what I learnt from Colin and what I learned from John Chisnall. Put it all into practice, and within 18 months I produced David Burke as a Commonwealth champion, and we went on from that to win the WBU lightweight champion of the world. He was a brilliant boxer, David. Big southpaw for the weight. He'd represented Great Britain in the Atlanta Olympics. He was ranked about 4 in the world at 57 kilo featherweight before he turned professional. So he had very good grounding and very good knowledge of the game himself. And of course, using these boxers again to develop our equipment, we got to where we were supplying Matchroom, Fight Academy. They were all using our gloves on the professional shows. Nearly all the top boxers were using our clothing range that we started to develop of custom shorts, which we still do to this day. We're very, very meticulous in producing the best quality in our custom boxing equipment, as well as keeping the price down. We've never been greedy. We've never took massive wages. We've put most of the money the business has made at Pro Am Boxing, we've put it back into boxing. We've sponsored all the national amateur championships, sponsored the local divisions several times and still do to this day. We did the Commonwealth Games in Manchester in 2002. That was all our IBA approved head guards and gloves, as well as all the training equipment for the games themselves. Making money's never been our top priority. That's why our prices are low. What money we do make mostly goes back into either research and development or sponsorship. We sponsor a few amateur boxers personally, and we sponsor less professionals than I'd like to, but over the years I've learned that we're not a charity that just gives equipment away willy-nilly. It's a two-way thing. The boxers help us to develop the equipment and improve it, along with advertising for us as well. They, they're not just getting given the equipment, they have to work for us. It's a 50-50 thing. They get whatever they need and we get feedback and advertisement from them. Some boxers do take stuff and don't give us any feedback and think we're a charity. They get dropped very quickly. We do explain it's a 50-50 partnership and sponsorship before we agree, but there you go. At the minute, we're researching and developing more our high-end equipment. We don't do cheap stuff. Our cheap stuff, that you call it, our bottom range, is, for me, is still better than 90% of what's on the market. At least half of what's on the market are just copies of what we've been doing for 25 years. As far as I know, I'm the only ex-boxer, amateur coach, professional trainer and manager that actually designs, develops and retails our own boxing brand. A lot of what's on the market has come through our brand first and just been copied and copied and copied. As everybody knows, there's no copyright laws in certain countries where most boxing equipment and sports type equipment is made, so it's just throwing money down a black hole. So we just have to grin and bear it, and a lot of people say copying our ideas is just flattery. As long as they only copy it and don't charge twice the price we charge, I'm okay with that. It's better to be first in every department. We're going to do in-depth breakdowns of each item of equipment that we do, explain how it's made, why it's made, and specifically the reasons why it's made that way, so you get to understand in future by following our YouTube channel why our equipment's made this way, why we don't spend thousands and thousands on advertising and piggybacking other people's channels and Facebook pages and things like that. We're the original. Stick with the original for a reason. We're hoping to explain all this to you, so please like, subscribe and comment. All comments, whether good, bad or invalid, they all mean something to us because we can learn from it. At my age now, I always say you never stop learning. Even as a coach and a trainer, I still like to learn things, whether it be in the gym or in the equipment. So your comments mean something to us where we can improve or do better. So please like, subscribe and comment to all our channels. See us on Instagram, Facebook and especially this YouTube channel. We want it to grow to help all our customers. Thanks and goodbye.